it's quite interesting how things kind of change for each console and each console maker and things like that, and how things are different. A perfect example of this would be right now on like social media and things like that. You have a large contingent of Xbox fans who are happy that Microsoft are putting out an incomplete product in Halo Infinite, and basically anytime you bring up anything about the campaign or not seeing any campaign footage, they pretty much throw it up that you're quote unquote concerned trolling, and they just kind of cast it aside as something obviously can't be wrong. But no matter how much you point out that this has had a troubled history of development, that's the way they're feeling about it. And on the other hand, they're celebrating the delay of Horizon Forbidden West into February 2022 like it's, a blow to PlayStation fans or something like that. To be honest with you, I expected the game to release probably in like November, December sometime. But with that being said, releasing a couple months later is not a big deal, especially if you get a more complete finished game and a more polished game. So that's the difference. PlayStation fans seem to be perfectly fine with waiting a couple extra months to get a complete version of the game, versus Xbox fans who seem to be perfectly okay with getting a game that offers the least amount that any Halo campaign has ever had. And the reason why it's the least amount is because every other Halo game that launched was a complete package, right? You get Halo, well, except for Halo CE. But you get Halo, you get the multiplayer, you get all that stuff, right? You get the co-op, you get the split screen, you get, all that kind of good stuff. This one, the multiplayer is completely free. It's not even part of the $60 package or whatever. So that's the first thing that I kind of noticed right away, and you just kind of sit there and shake your head a little bit and go, that's a little bit strange, to me personally. So you don't need this Halo disc or whatever. Let's just say you're a physical collector. You don't need that for the multiplayer. So what are you getting out of this? You're getting a campaign, and you're getting, that's pretty much about it. And trust me, I understand the whole damage control kind of make excuses thing about how, well, in today's day and age, etc., lots of games ship unfinished, blah, blah, blah. But do they ship in the state that, like, Halo Infinite is? Like, first of all, there's a lot of red flags around that game. Simply put, they probably wanted to release that game on the 20-year anniversary of Halo. I think it's November 15th. The fact that they're releasing it in December means that it's going to come in hot. And obviously, they already had a ton of marketing that went out the door last year when that game wasn't ready. They've had marketing so far this year. Obviously they have a custom console and stuff like that probably, would it sell without the game? I don't know. But how much longer can you keep pushing back this game? I think that's something that Microsoft is dealing with right now, as opposed to Sony, who, obviously took the right route, in my opinion, and delayed Horizon Forbidden West. We'll get a much better game, a much more polished game, and, hopefully that's going to be something, one of those things that kind of comes to fruition, is that, we're going to have a much better game, and we're going to have a game that actually is worthwhile of a follow-up to the first game, you know what I mean? Which I thought the story was a little bit lackluster, and some of the acting in the first one could be boring at times, but overall, like, I thought it hit a lot of, ticked a lot of boxes, and, so props to them for doing that. So they actually did a very interesting thing, which was basically confirmed the Horizon Forbidden West release date, which obviously made a surprise appearance during Gamescom opening night, and we finally now have a release date, though it seems that concerns around it not making the end of 2021 were true, as Horizon Forbidden West will release on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 on February 18, 2022. The news comes directly from Guerrilla Games, who made a quick appearance to talk about Horizon Forbidden West and give us the release date, while also revealing that Horizon Zero Dawn has been given an update to run at 60 frames per second on the PS5. There was no word as to when we'll hear more from Guerrilla Games about Horizon Forbidden West, though it is good at least to finally have a release date we can now look forward to, rather than just waiting to know when it will release. Guerrilla Games did make a point to say they are on track, so hopefully we don't see any more delays now that we have a designated launch date. So that is some pretty exciting news if you think about it. Having a set in stone release date, only a couple months off of what I think most of us thought would be the launch date in the first place. So we'll have to kind of hopefully wait and see how that kind of works out. I know it's not that much of an issue to me. It would have been much more of an issue. The funny thing is this, right? Like when it comes to like the whole fanboying side of things, if they would have rushed it and released it this year and it would have scored a little bit poorer, that there was some fanboy contingent that would mock that, right? Whereas, if Halo doesn't score as well as previous Halos, they're going to say, oh, well, it's just media bias, or it's just, that scores don't matter, because that's just the fanboy nature of things, right? And I get that, but it's like, man, wouldn't you rather just have a complete experience? I don't understand why there's so much kind of animosity towards getting a complete experience of a game. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like people should definitely, kind of think about that in the future. So speaking of that, Horizon Zero Dawn 1.53 PS5 patch, 60 frames per second, actually doing some pretty good stuff. But there is a little bit of an issue here. People have been testing it, and there are some issues. They have found that some cutscenes, the non-pre-rendered ones, it should be noted, run at 30 frames even with the mode active, and also have no sound. The rest of them, however, do run at 60 and as they should, and fully work how they should. So that is something to kind of keep in mind when you think about it as well. So yeah, very interesting to see this. I'm happy that they've kind of done this. I know, listen, I have no desire to go back and play Horizon Zero Dawn again, but I think it's cool to add, this feature so that people that maybe haven't played the first game have a chance to experience it at a much better level, as well. So this unlocks the frame rate to 60 frames per second when running on the PS5 in backwards compatibility mode, fix streaming performance issues when running on PS5 console, remove graphics mode options for visual settings for running on PS5 console. So yeah, very cool stuff. This game released, as you know, in 2017. Really good game. I didn't think it was as perfect as some people said, but still a really fantastic game. And once again, I'll just like to point out that it's just a situation where I understand that people are going to be a little bit divided on this stuff. So I think that, for me personally, I would rather delay the game. I love Halo. I've bought every Halo since day one. Halo CE was my first Xbox purchase. Halo 2 was, I think, one of my last original Xbox purchases. When it comes to the 360, Halo 3, day one, in line at GameStop, midnight release. Halo 4, midnight release, in line. You know what I mean? Like, I literally live this stuff, So I think that it's very interesting that people kind of react certain ways to this stuff. I want to play through the game co-op. It's not a situation where I'm upset or, oh man, shouldn't you, like, I don't understand how you could be upset that something got delayed a few months to make it better. And I don't understand how that would be a bad thing for Halo. You know what I mean? Clearly, Microsoft wanted the Halo to launch on the 20th anniversary, and the fact that it's not probably is the last thing that they want, and it's coming in extremely hot. So, we'll have to see how it plays out. But again, I like the way that Sony did it. It seems like they're doing things, they're not going to be rushed or baited into sort of doing the things that Microsoft is doing. So I'm keeping that in mind completely as we go forward, and hopefully you guys will let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crapgamer 'em up. Crapgamer out.